Hey Cancers, this is going to be your monthly zodiac spread. It's a general forecast for the month of July. And you guys have a lot of major arcanas in this reading. I've already shuffled your cards and laid them out. This is Sherry with True Tarot for today. And just a heads up, the spelling of my channel has changed. A lot of people couldn't find it. Instead of the number 4 for True Tarot for today, I have the word FOR. So perhaps you'll be able to find my channel easier. Okay, there is just finishing the full moon. It was an eclipse on the Cancer Capricorn line. And so I think this explains why you have so many major arcanas in this reading. For those of you who are not familiar with tarot, there are 22 cards that represent the major arcana, and then out of the deck of 78, the remainder are considered the minor arcana. In your reading, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seven. Half of your cards are major arcana. So I think with these eclipses, July is going to be a powerful month for you. I also want to wish you guys a happy birthday for those of you whose birthday falls in this month. But I am going to say there's definitely an element of fate with events that are going to end or begin or transpire this July. Okay, having said that, let's begin your reading. The first house represents how the world sees you, and they're seeing you right now as pretty much a person that works within tradition. They see you as a person that's responsible, you conform, you like institutions, power. This is very much, again, the Capricorn Cancer axis. But they're going to see you as a person that belongs to an organization, belongs to a community, belongs to a religion, belongs to a culture, a tradition, or you work for some institution. So it is a card of, systems, corporations, institutions. It can also represent, school districts, religion, government. So, but you are being seen as part of some greater community or institution. And just be aware that people are going to see you as very straight, and you're not going to appear in any way new age, unconventional, cutting edge. So if you want to appear a little bit less conservata, you're going to have to apply effort, because the world is seeing you as quite conservative in the month of July, or quite concerned with family and where you come from. Your second house is your money house. You have another major arcana card here, and this is the card of strength. So, Cancers, you really like security. This is saying you have it right now. This is the card of mental, emotional, and spiritual strength and self-control. So you're not going to be doing anything wild and crazy with your money, with your investments. You're looking for long-term returns. You're looking for having strength to do the things that you want to do in life. And you want your money to be healthy, to be stable, and to work for you. So if you're in a job, you will be applying yourself and you will be looking good. If your money is making money for you, you're not going to be taking too many risks in the month of July. You're just going to kind of wait things out, and you're going to have more self-control than other people if the financial markets fluctuate. In your third house, this is your neighborhood. It can also represent your siblings and your cousins. Another major arcana card here. So this is death, and it means there's transformation going on with either a family member or someone in your neighborhood that you're around, or your neighborhood itself is going through some kind of a transformation. And that can be a good transformation. Usually the death card indicates creative change. So for some of you, your neighborhood, there may be a lot of construction, new buildings, new businesses opening, some closing. If it's a family member or a neighbor, they may be starting a whole new cycle. And so something may have come to a conclusion. Maybe some of them are wrapping up the sale of a house, buying a new one. This is the card of maturity. And so, things come to their natural end and new things begin. But it's a card of change and transformation. In your home, you have a fire element showing up. For some of you Cancers, if you have a moon or ascendant or a mate that's a fire sign, this is going to make more sense to you. If you don't have any of the above, it means you're going to want to kind of get in the driver's seat and become very entrepreneurial when you're at home. Some of you may be thinking of starting new businesses. This is the card of confidence, creative energy, leadership. So for some of you Cancers, this can be your mate, this could be your landlord, this could be someone doing construction in your home, but it's a person that has somewhat of a big ego, but they get things done. And they motivate people, they are enthusiastic, they have a lot of energy. So if it's anyone doing work in your home, the work will get done. They don't goof off. They sometimes can be charming and they like to have fun. But if it's anyone doing work, they know what they're doing and they don't usually slack off. If it's a mate, they're going to be motivated this month. They may want to get a new business off the ground. They're thinking of enterprise. They might be fixing up the home, doing their own construction in the home. But again, this is the card of fire. So there's some energy in your home or a personality that has a lot of energy. And if it's you guys, you really want to get something off the ground because this is not a typical card for a water sign. So, like I said, if you have a moon or ascendant in fire, that's going to get kicked up this month, and you're going to have a desire to really get things done and do things in your home. Some of you may actually start a new business from your home, but I'm picking up more renovation or more beautifying of the home. Okay, in your fifth house, this is new relationships or your children. And so if it's a new relationship, I consider that romance one that started within the last 3 years. And if it's children, it's pretty self-explanatory if you have children. If you have children, there's a lot of gossip and negative energy and jealousy floating around. So you want to check in with the crowd that your kids are hanging out with. You want to make sure that they're not posting gossip and slander and negative nonsense online. You do want to watch their online activities. If it's their friends, there's some bad eggs mixed in with their crowd, and I would kind of watch and see the influence that the negative people are having on your child. If it's a new romance, they have a bad crowd also that they're bringing along with them. I never liked the Five of Swords. It's not open competition. It's not honest competition. It's catty, petty, wannabe people that try to make other people look bad so they can look better. So whoever this new energy is, if it's a new romance for some of you Cancers, they're hanging with a bad work environment, a bad family, or a bad crowd. And that negative energy eventually is going to come back and bite someone. So you may be a good influence over a new romance in the sense that you can clue them in that there's some negative people around them. In your work house and your health house, you have the choice card. This is sometimes referred to as the Lovers or the Temptation card. Another major arcana in your reading, Cancer. I've never seen this many. I think one time you had 6 or 7. But this axis with these eclipses is definitely affecting you and the Capricorns. Okay, so in your 6th house, if it's work, you're going to have a decision or a choice to make. Someone may be hanging like a carrot in front of you or dangling it, trying to tempt you with an offer. Sometimes this is sexual attraction as well, where someone tries to seduce you or attract you. But oftentimes, it's somebody who makes something look better than it is. So it can be they're making a job that's shitty look better to entice you and get you to take it. If you're in real estate, they would be making a property look a lot better and not telling you about the negatives, only the positives. So in your work environment, whatever your profession you're in, you are either going to be in a situation where you're going to have to make a choice or a decision, and I recommend discernment with you very much this month because it's a powerful month and this choice may stay with you for a while. If it's your health, again, someone may be promoting, this snake oil, get healthy in a minute regimen or product or routine for you, and it's not going to deliver what they're pitching or selling to you. So if it's your health, again, I would be discerning. Some of you may have to choose a doctor. Some of you may have to choose a therapy or a medication. And I would really delve into the options because, again, this is the card where someone tries to entice you or seduce you. And many of the physicians get kickbacks from the medicines that they recommend to their patients. Be a little bit aware that, you have the power to choose, and make sure that something that's being offered to you is even necessary. In your partnership house, you have another major arcana card. It's called the Hangman. One of your partners is sitting on the fence and can't make a decision right now. They need some space. They're soul searching. They're trying to figure out what they value. They're trying to tap into their inner wisdom. So it's a card of stasis or limbo. One of your partners is not going to make a decision in the month of July. So don't, have an expectation that they are going to make a decision. Don't wait around for it. Do what you can do proactively. You've got a lot of proactive energy in your home. You have a lot of strength with your money. You have renovations or changes going on with one of your relatives or your neighbors. So if one person is sitting on the fence and they can't make a decision and it's keeping you in limbo, just move on and move and do things that you can do independently. Your 8th house represents your love life, which is your intimate life, and also legacy, shared resources. You have a very nice card here. So even if one of you Cancers have a new relationship where they're hanging out or they're in some environment with gossip and backstabbing, it isn't seeming to touch you in the bedroom because you have loyalty, love, friendship, and happiness. So for many of you, your sex life or your romantic life is going to be very good this month. Happy birthday. And for others of you, if it has anything to do with alimony, with child support, with insurance payouts, IRS, anything to do with shared resources. I think you're going to be happy with the news that you hear in July. This is a card where you feel a sense of well-being and, again, security, which is very important to you Cancers. Another major arcana card, the Fool, in your ninth house. So what's interesting is this house represents lawsuits, publishing, travel, and higher education. So many of you feel an itch in this area of your life. It also represents philosophy and religion. So, it's kind of a contradiction to your first house where everybody sees you as very straight and operating within tradition. And then here you have the card of wanting to explore new things, having a fresh outlook. So if it has to do with philosophy or religion, secretly you're much more explorative than people think. You're not as traditional as you're showing up in the world, because this is the card of wanting to explore, and life is a journey. And so for some of you, if it does relate to like tradition, religion, philosophy, you may start studying and going on a new path, because this is a desire to see and learn and be open to new concepts and new ways of living. If it's anything to do with a lawsuit, it's recommending that you have a little caution here, because this card implies a little bit of recklessness where you act and then you think later. So the impulses to move things along is very strong, but it has nothing to do with logic. And if you're in any kind of legal situation, you're basically going to be winging it. There's no foundation here. If it's a trip, it would be great, because you would feel a whole new sense of rejuvenation. So if any of you can get away, for your birthday and have a vacation, it would be a wonderful eye-opening trip for you. It would widen your horizons, and it would make your perspective much larger, and you'd be wanting to explore, like I said, different cultures, philosophies, religions. If it's publishing, again, there's a little bit of a winging it, let's wait and see attitude. Publishing today can be a website, it can be a Facebook page, it could be anything. So you would basically be exploring your options and, moving out into a new area. Somewhat green here, but again, a little bit of caution is recommended, because it's like you're just kind of exploring. If it's to do with higher education, you want to learn a lot of new things, so you're very eager to start a new journey, and it would probably pan out well for you. But again, apply some logic, look at, what the cost is going to be against what you're going to gain. Think things through, because again, this card has the impetuous energy where you do something and then later on you're not sure if you really stepped into a better situation or not. In your career house, you're showing up very strong. This is the card of a woman who discerns, but in a general reading, it can be for the male Cancers as well. Or you can be working with this person, and so you're identified very strongly with this strong female personality. But for most of you, it's yourselves, and you're going to be no nonsense in the month of July when it comes to your career. You're not going to tolerate any BS from people, and you're going to see if anyone's, selling you a bill of goods that is not, to your benefit. So I like this card in your career house, because in the work area you do have, some energy where someone's trying to tempt you or seduce you. And if it isn't a sexual attraction, they may be, like I said, misrepresenting something to you so that you'll bite, and take the bait. So having discernment and being no nonsense is very good. People see you sharp. They think you know your business. They know that nobody can fool you. But again, that's why someone may have a temptation to fool you. So your exterior is going to be not warm and fluffy and sensitive like you Cancers usually are, soft inside. This is a pretty hard exterior, and some people may even be intimidated by you in the month of July because you're going to be very serious and straight to the point, and you're going to see BS a mile away. So just be aware, that it's a good card for mental processes. It's not the best card for having or being known for having a bedside manner. In your friendship house, you have a hardworking person here. They're honest, trustworthy, reliable, dependable. Usually an earth sign. Cancers, you get along with Capricorn, but it can be a Taurus or a Virgo. If it's not someone who falls under that astrological sign, it's a person that's, like I said, serviceable, trustworthy, reliable. It's someone who has a strong work ethic. So you may be friends with someone at work and hanging out with them, or it's just a friend of yours that's, they're not the most exciting person. The people that hold the pentacles are really about security and money. And that's important to you Cancers, but they can be a little boring too. So, this friend, sort of gets into the grind of life and accepts it. And like I said, has a strong work ethic and a sense of responsibility. So they're a reliable friend. And then finally, in your 12th house, this is the house of your undoing, where you have a blind spot, your karma. And this is the card that's typical of the crab, where you guys have the, hard shell to protect yourselves, the crab. And you like to retreat into yourselves to kind of rest, recuperate, recharge your battery. The battle of life, fighting the money dragon, all of these strong personalities that show up, when you get out in the arena of life and compete and make a living. They tend to stress you out because you are pretty much of an introverted nature, and you like to, cocoon with your family in your home. And so, you're thinking about how sometimes you retreat when the going gets tough. For some of you, you may be recovering from a medical procedure and it's weighing on your mind, that you need to just kind of take it easy and rest. But with these eclipses now going on this Capricorn Cancer axis, you guys so far, out of all the readings I've been doing in the last 4 months, have had pretty intense readings. Like I said, 7 major arcanas is an element of fate. So karmically, you're going to be even looking at your innate nature as a Cancer, of how sometimes you retreat instead of fighting when you should fight. Getting back in the battle like the rest of the soldiers on the planet and fighting, whether it's the money dragon or some other dragon. You guys tend to like someone else to fight the dragon and be comfy in your home. And your home can just be your emotional home inside of yourself. You don't like people that threaten your security or emotionally give you stress. How you deal with that is the question that's coming up for you, because this says karmically you get exhausted or you need to remove yourself to figure out, how you recharge and how you restore yourself. And instead of fighting that, you may have to look at that that is your nature and that is who you are. You are more introverted than extroverted, and you're a nurturer, and your home is your kind of sacred ground. So, as much as you're putting on this very fierce exterior in the workplace, and you're a can do kind of person that makes tough decisions, this can also burn you out, and you can feel that, the battle sometimes drains you when you have to act in this manner. So, you'll have to decide, why you need to restore or retreat, or if you feel sometimes that that's your prison, you wish you were like other people, and you were always full of energy and always wanting to go out into the world and do something or make something happen, like the King of Rods here. Some of you, it may be time for you to get active, and pursue something that you've wanted to create. And instead of retreating, you're going to need to draw on your inner strength and your inner confidence and your inner entrepreneurial know-how. So it could be that as well. But generally, you have a very powerful month, Cancers. I wish you success this month. A happy birthday. If you like my videos, please like, share, or subscribe. And I'll catch you back here next month. Take care.